Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Wednesday, and it's time to do with video games. I bent this microphone. I aimed it all over here because I was looking at this monitor, and then realized like, oh, I'm going to be looking over here, and now I'm talking to the side of it again. I don't think it actually matters much. This microphone. I've been pretty happy with this microphone, all told. Yeah, a little basic, just what's it, like a SM57? It's just a nice. It's just a regular old 57. You know what you need? What do you need? RGB lights on your microphone? No. Do you want a USB microphone? You do not. I mean, I don't. Maybe you do. A little dusty. We had all the windows replaced, and it got a little dusty in here. I think because of the work with the windows, but also it had maybe just been a while since I had dusted, so I dusted some stuff. The top of this camera here had quite a thick layer on it. It was yucky. RGB lights are terrible, especially I feel like especially on a microphone. I think that would just be like, I don't know, needlessly distracting or something. Like you don't need that. I was looking. I don't know why I do this. I was like, man, what does a fully loaded PC look like these days? If I go to one of these, like, we'll build you a PC and sell it to you for more money than it would cost you to build it yourself, but it'll just show up. And I just started checking boxes, and you're like, well, clearly I would need this CPU, and well, clearly we would need this GPU. And you get to a point where you're like, it was like $5,200 or something, You're like, okay, yeah, a nice 4 terabyte machine, 4 terabyte SSD, and a great CPU, a great GPU, all that sort of shit. But there were no options for, and different companies are going to be different like this, but like there was no option for like, sell me a case that doesn't have see-through sides. You know what I value in a PC case? I want it to be as quiet as possible. I want it to be baffled. I want it to be foamed up where it can, obviously within reason, because you got to deal with heat still. But like, I don't need to see inside the machine, and I don't want a bunch of like all these coolers. Like this PC, I cannot see inside of it. I know that it has a bunch of fucking RGB lights on it. I know the cooler, the fans on the cooler will light up if you so desire. Like the water cooler, the part that connects to the CPU on the cooler will light up. My RAM has RGB lights on it, which is dumb. It's all dumb. Like none of that looks cool. Like I like colored lighting as much as I love colored lighting. Love it. But the idea of like that being inside a computer or me needing to be able to see inside a PC or all that sort of stuff, like I don't get it. I just think it looks stupid. It's not that it looks gaudy. It's not that I just look at it and go like, that's stupid as fuck. Get me the quietest like fractal design case that they sell, which I don't have anymore. All my last 3 PCs were in fractal design cases, which were nice and quiet for the most part. This case is I bought a PC from Origin back in the day, and they had like just been purchased, and so it was like they were very nice when I finally did get a hold of them, but it was kind of a shit show on the support side because the first GPU they sent me was dead. And so I had to return that and get another one and do the RMAs and all this other stuff. And just getting them on the phone to be like, I need this, took hours and hours. And like when I finally got a hold of some poor guy, he was just like, yeah, we got, the company just got bought. It's like he didn't want to get into it, but he felt he had to say something. And I'm like, yeah, no, okay. All right. No, it's, I get it. I absolutely get it. And whatever, it all worked out fine in the end. But it's like a weird situation where like I remember like complaining about it on Twitter, and then the head of that company like DM'd me and was like, we'll make this right and all this other stuff. And then I was like, cool, what, you've given me no course of like should I call you? Are they going to call me? Is someone going to, and like, eventually I had to wait on hold for like 2 hours to finally get somebody on the phone. And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that guy was on about, like trying to make it sound like, oh, we'll take care of you. Like, all right. I mean, yes, they eventually did take care of me and whatever. It sounds like it was a weird time for that company or something, but it was just, I don't know. It was silly. It's a good PC though. It's very clean inside. Like when I wire up a computer, I run out of patience. And also, I don't know how to have nice cable runs. I don't know if you've seen anything I have wired up in this room. I guess there's nothing really you can easily see from here, but like the back of this PC, there's so much shit plugged into it because there's, capture card in and out. There's all these USB devices. There's, 3 monitors. Like there's a lot of cables coming out of the back of this PC. And they're just loosey-goosey everywhere. It's a disaster. It's, I have like one cable tie around them going like, maybe this will help. Like, no, it does not help. It does not help. I don't know how to do it. That would be the how-to I would like to read. It's like a very easy, like, hey man, here's like there's some fundamental piece of information I'm missing about how to wire either the inside of a PC or anything really and have it look not like garbage. So I don't know. I'm trying this. I bought this at the store. What is this? This is a Monster Rehab green tea. I'm not a big tea guy. I like green tea just fine though. So I thought maybe I would try this and see what's up with it. And see what happens. Sure. This just tastes like tea. This is nice. You could, let's put on the list real fast, and then we'll get going. With the old Atari 400 Mini over here, which I've been messing with here and there. It's the USB stick I was trying to use external games just doesn't work with it for whatever reason. Maybe it has too much power draw or something like that. And so I grabbed the different USB. It's one of those, that is one of those ultimate truths of just life is I have dozens of USB sticks. Just dozens. And it doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be something. In fact, it's better that it's small because it needs to be FAT32. But of course, the minute I went looking for one, they were all gone. So I finally found one. And that one works fine. This is, I don't know. This is an okay drink. Green tea sometimes makes my tummy feel weird. My tum-tum. But so far, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. PC cabling is so crazy. And so like I'm really afraid to mess up the cabling in this computer because it was done very nicely by professionals. But also the first thing I did when I got it was like put 3 more hard drives in it. and a Blu-ray burner. Like all this stuff that was, like when people have their gaming PC and they're like, well, I don't need to put anything in here other than 2 SSDs. They're like, yeah, okay, yeah, get a mid tower then, I guess. You don't even fucking need a full-size tower. I do shit with computers. I use computers. I use them, man. I use the shit out of them. I'm over here, I'm burning discs that don't work half the time because the Sega Saturn is a fickle beast. I'm storing files on hard drives to an alarming quantity. But maybe the answer is to just offload all of that onto the server machine that I have and just have a fucking weird just gaming PC or something. I don't know. I have been thinking about a dual PC streaming setup lately. I don't want to do it but it seems like that would just, some games just don't capture cleanly, and they come in and the frame rate takes a hit and all this other stuff. And so, well, if I had one PC that was like the streaming PC that I used for when I talk about how I use a computer, that would be the computer I could use, and then have another one that's just for games. It seems ridiculous, but maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. Where's this going to go on our list? It's no Red Bull sugar free. Let's not be crazy. I would take it over Ghost Swedish Fish, which is good. I don't love the Ghost Swedish Fish flavor as much as some other people seem to. I would take this over a Rise Fuel Sunny D, which doesn't quite capture the flavor of Sunny D as well as I wish it did. Let's see. It's better than the Rockstar Recovery Berry Aid. I like these. The Freedom Ice is not awesome in the compared to the. Well, it's really good, but it's not as good as. I think some of those other Fruit Punch is our number 2 and Orange Cream is our number 7 here. So like the Freedom Pop, relatively speaking, is quite a bit down the list. I suppose this C4 Skittles is better than this. This is better than 3D Liberty Pop. It's better than Prime Energy Tropical Punch. And so yeah, it's our new number 32. We'll put it on the list. We'll get going. Here. Monster. Rehab. Green tea. And there you have it. Our new number. Wait, no, that went in the wrong spot. These two are meant to be swapped. You get the idea. I'll swap them. Let's go swap those real quick here. And there you have it. Okay. The Atari 400 Mini. The 400, as they call it. Here it is. I still don't have audio connected properly for this, and that's something I need to spend some time fixing. Speaking of wiring problems. So I'll need to take my headphones off so I can turn the TV up so I can hear the game that way. But I should be able to... Okay, there's like 4 remote controls in front of me, and one of them is the one I need. The remote control for my monitor, so I can change inputs over here to this. There. Okay. They call it the 400 because this is the same company that did the C64, and I think they called the Amiga the 500. Like, that's just their product line for these mini consoles they've been making. And so this is officially, I guess, the 400. Okay, you're getting the background music that they have here. So, it's got a bunch of built-in games, and the controller, it comes with a recreation of the original Atari joystick. It has some additional features, like a second button hiding down here on the shoulder. Here, I'll switch back to this here. It's got another little cornery button here. There's buttons on the ring. So this pushes in, and you can, use those for some functionality. And then there's 2 little buttons here. So you're navigating save states and other things there. So you kind of need just one more button there. And yeah, if you have the twisty the combo joystick that they made for the VCS, which is both a regular joystick and a paddle because you can spin the joystick. It unlocks a couple of games that require a paddle to play. So that's kind of a neat little thing. It's like Breakout, and I forget what the other game is. I did not immediately go unbox my Atari VCS to find that controller. If you're wondering how excited I was about that. This is a decent list of games. There are better games than these, I guess, is my overall feeling on this. Boulder Dash is a really good pick. Bristles is a decent game. I've played this version of Centipede a whole lot. Oh yeah, it's Warlords, but it is an unofficial, like a homebrew modern remake of Warlords that someone made a few years ago. If you want to play this computer version of Crystal Castles, you can. Electra Glide. That was Electra Slide. It's a futuristic motorbike racing game, according to that. Some of these games I'm not super familiar with. Like Henry's House, for example. Looks pretty good. Here we have the Atari version of Hover Bover. Is the Atari 400 around the same era as the Commodore 64? Yeah, roughly. It's earlier. So this was like, I want to say 79. And what was the Commodore? It was more like 83. So it's kind of in basic league with those games, but yeah, there's a little bit of distance between them. Lee is the funniest one for me because this is Bruce Lee, but they have taken the license out of it, and so they went and made this box art for Lee. And then they had to make a new in-game title screen for it also. To me, the Commodore 64 version of this is kind of the definitive one. But this version is fine. Okay. So I think the top button, yeah, there we go. So because it's a one-button controller, you push up to jump, which is not always the best. Yeah, I have the Commodore version of this so ingrained in my head that all of these sound effects and stuff are like super broken to me. This is like, this is the wrong, this game's broken. What's happening here? Bruce Lee has to get, Lee has to get the lamps. You understand. And hot on his trail is this ninja and this sumo dude who I believe is, what's his name? Yamo? Well, maybe not in this version. Maybe that. Oh! All right, we need to fall on this dude and then get this and then just try to get away. Because we don't, these guys respawn infinitely pretty much. And, okay. We can climb up here. We're going to have to fall again. Was there a big performance jump in this over the 2600? Yeah, definitely. So this is, if you're familiar with the Atari 5200, which was Atari's kind of follow-up console to the 2600, this is the same hardware as that. In fact, this thing will play 5200 games if you supply them. All right, we've opened up the passageway underground. Something about this version of the game just feels off to me. And again, maybe it's just because I'm so, oh man, we missed that lantern. We have to get it. Oh, we're gonna die here, so we'll get it then. There we go. Damn it. Mistimed it again. Oh, I did. Well, now I'm just getting sloppy. Oh, why am I? Oh. There's a Spectrum version of this. If you want to play Bruce Lee today, I think maybe the best way to play it is there's a homebrew version that someone made for the Sega Master System as part of a ROM competition or something like that, and they made a pretty good port of this game for the Master System. Oh. Oh. He kicked me into the fire, and that was that. So, if you want, you can, which one of these buttons is the select button here? Okay, so the top button is option. It won't let me. There we go. That's the select button. Some of the button, you can change the button mapping on this controller, or, it's USB, so you can kind of just plug in, you could plug in a PlayStation 5 controller, and I think it will still work to some degree. There are text files you can edit to change the button mapping and stuff like that. So you can kind of get crafty with it if you want. And so you could set it so player 2 can be the, I guess the sumo. And so the thing to do is to set it this way and then play alone. Because then one of your two adversaries doesn't move. I think it also has given me more lives. I want to say you have 4 falls if you are playing properly and 9 if you're playing 2-player. Also, I think eventually the game figures out what you're doing, and if the sumo doesn't move for a long enough time, it eventually just takes over. See? So, and now I only have 4 lives. It actually just it reset me back down and said, "Nah, son." So, you got to plug in another controller and wiggle it, I guess, a little bit if you want to fully fool it. This was the version of MULE I played. And this is... the audio on this thing is a little wrong. Like the noise channel, the doesn't sound accurate to me. And so that's maybe the main criticism I would probably have of this device is that the audio doesn't seem the way it's supposed to. Okay, so we want 1 player, beginner. Insert a joystick or paddle. If you play as the flapper, you start with extra money. If you play as the human, you start with less money. Because humans are too smart. Not me. I'm a flapper. You know, we could probably do side by sides with Altira, which is a pretty good Atari emulator for the PC. Which I have not noticed having any audio problems, but you know, comparing emulators to emulators at some point is kind of weird. Like you might as well just hook up the real hardware at some point if you're really going to get into testing. But this audio, yeah, the overall, I think the audio sounds off to me. And that's a bummer. I've streamed some MULE before. I guess it was the NES version, right? So I forget what color I am. I tried to pick that water up there, but maybe I'll get this water down here. Yeah, that's me. Okay. Water's a good place to grow food. Mountains are a good place for mining. Let's buy a mule. Outfit it for food. Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me. Wampus. Oh. And then we'll end our turn. It's a trading game. It's it's really like an electronic board game in a lot of ways. It's 4 players trying to best each other and win the most money, and you can trade goods back and forth and sell stuff and it's a fun strategy game. Yeah, and it's faster than the NES version, which I feel like tried to have a lot of pomp and circumstance. And so you get these random events here. Wandering Space Travel repaid your hospitality by leaving 2 bars of Smith ore. I go with food because everyone needs food. Uh-oh. Pest attack. That's going to fuck up my food production. All of it, apparently. Motherfucker. So once you go through the phase of, each turn starts with you getting a plot of land, and then you outfit it with whatever type of mule you want, and then it goes to this trading phase, where I don't have any Smith ore to sell, so I can buy it if you want, but there's no reason to buy it, because it has no value other than, there's no usefulness to it other than for money, and so I never start with Smith ore. Because energy and food have actual use that you can use it, so it's a good way to kind of just get your feet under you. I can offer to buy it. I can walk up here and say, I always, this trading interface I always thought was really cool. It was like this, I can walk out here and say, I'll pay 65. But then as someone walks down, I can go, actually, I'll pay 60. And you can back off as they're walking in your direction and see if, who will meet in the middle and when the sale will take place. It's like it's like you're playing fucking footsies in a fighting game, but to trade food. We started with a bunch of food, so I'm not asked out because the pest attack came and got me, but I did not produce any additional food, so we have no surplus here. So here's a case where none of us really need food. That guy has 4 extra food. Food will spoil, so you're incentivized to sell it if you have too much. But the store will only buy it for $15 here. So this guy's gonna, and I could offer, I could be like, I'll pay 16, but I don't need any. So that's that. And then we go through this phase one more time for energy, which is the third resource. And then it all repeats, basically. and you do this over and over again, and at the end, someone wins. And who is the savviest trader and the luckiest, with all of that stuff, and that's how it all shakes out. MULE is a wonderful game, and the Atari 400 or the Atari 800, no, the Atari 400, they both had 4 controller ports out of the gate. So on the Commodore 64, where you only had 2 controller ports, playing a proper 4-player game of MULE was a little bit more difficult. But here, you could just plug in 4 controllers and go. I've never played it with a paddle. It does support a paddle. I imagine you just turn it to walk, or well, I don't know how you would. How does this game control with a paddle? I could sell my surplus energy, but I'll probably need it at some point. So, and 10 units, like, who cares? So, like, MULE is an all-time classic. Hopefully you can kind of see why, for its era, and just like from an interface perspective, I think it's a really interesting way to visualize these concepts of like, oh, you're buying and selling. There's an auction that takes place, and you're plopping your units down, and it's very it's easy to wrap your mind around it. It's not like the deepest game that's ever been created or anything crazy like that, but like it is it has a depth that a lot of games from this era didn't. We're gonna try and get these mountains. Got him. Okay, so for mountains, we want to do mining. Maybe I should have done energy here. I'm probably going to need to buy energy in the next auction. But it should be okay because, ooh, the Wumpus, I'll never get over there in time. You see those mountains light up a little bit? If you can get over there. Oh. Did we break the game? What the fuck just happened? So you're supposed to catch the Wumpus and get bonus money for it, is what's supposed to happen here. All right, I don't know if I made any money there or if that was just some weird shit. But we'll go to the pub. Fuck just happened? I feel like normally you just see the Wumpus and it goes, you found the Wumpus. Here's, $200 or, whatever it is. Oh, fuck that guy. That destroyed his mule and everything. We sold off all our ore because we don't need it. This food situation's getting dire here. But it's okay, because I'm making food. I can sell a unit. We got 2 guys who need a unit and 2 guys who have an extra. So I'm competing with one other seller for 1 unit. I think if you match the store price, you will sell first. I'm not. You can, yeah, if you want to go ahead and sell one for that type of price, you won't go any higher, huh? Come on, dog. You need this. I know you need this food. That's right, sucker. Capitalism, baby. Now, see, I need to. Now they've got me over a barrel for these 2 units of energy that I need. I can buy them from the store for 45 units, but maybe they'll be interested in selling for less than that. Come on. Take 12. All right. Fair enough. I'll probably get some flat land and do energy on it. You know, have one of each and then be mostly self-sufficient, I guess. I'm just hanging out. Something in this game is broken. Yes, okay, it just crashed. What the fuck? So, you know, needs a firmware update, let's say. That's disappointing. I mean, between that and some of the audio stuff, because like Boulder Dash is another game that has like very specific audio that as soon as I fired it up, I was like, oh, this doesn't seem... Trying to start the game here. There we go. All of that noise there, right there, all of the boulders falling and all the level drawing in stuff sounds very wrong to me. Like that. There are those like types of dings and like, especially as the gems fall, but they don't sound right to me. This is a great puzzle game. I guess action puzzler, you know, what do you want to call it? But like, you know, the boulders fall, and sometimes the boulders fall in ways that will kill you or prevent you from getting these gems. You need to get a certain number of gems to open up the exit and then get out. This guy's name is Rockford. That's like a firefly, I think. It'll kill you. Oh, it'll kill you. Boulder Dash was a very popular game in its era. That's an extra life. That's why that's doing that. That flash means the exit's now open. We almost buried the exit. The Commodore 64 had so many, like, so there are some sequels to this and stuff, but also like a billion, like, basically ROM hacks. Basically, like, you know, people making their own levels and then putting them out as, like, as if it was a new game. This is probably the first level that where you can really fuck up and dig yourself into a bad spot if you're not careful. That right there can go bad. Oops, we're dead. I don't love this joystick. Turns out, as an adult, like this Atari joystick is not as responsive as just a good old fashioned D-pad. We'll see if we can reset it here. Because it'll let you start at different levels, and so I think if we start at the highest level we can start at, you'll hear some audio that might make you crazy. Let's start at M, Cave M. So here we've got this amoeba next to us that just grows. The amoeba will not kill you. And we've got all these guys down here that when you kill these guys, they will explode into diamonds, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And so you have to generate all the diamonds in this level. So the other thing about the amoeba is if you can trap the amoeba in with rocks, it will, and trap it, it will also turn into diamonds. But if the amoeba grows too big, it will eventually just all turn into rocks. And then you will almost certainly be fucked. Alright, what do I need to do to get out of this alive here? Oh, that's right, I can dig under it here to make them move around a little bit, and then that'll take some of the heat off here, but also, so I can, what if I did this, and then I believe we need 50 diamonds to clear the level, so trying to push that rock over. Anyway, Boulder Dash, hell of a game. This is you know, this is like a good version of Centipede for what it is, you know. As far as like playing it with a joystick goes. I probably played hundreds of hours of this game. Scorpions on level 2 seems harsh. Oh, Miner 2049er is gosh, it's a Hall of Fame video game. I've got a whole video on this game and its sequel up on YouTube as part of the Jeff Gerstmann Hall of Fame. It's a great platformer. It stars Bounty Bob. It was made in Van Nuys. And in like some other, like, there's some other version of the world where Bounty Bob is, I'm not going to say as big as Mario, but maybe like as big as Sonic or something. Bigger than Bubsy. How about that? There's a Pac-Man-like element to this, where when we collect food, it turns the mutants into these other guys, and you can get them while they're transformed. You can only fall a very short distance before dying. And the jump is a set distance, so, you know, like, they play off of that to make it, you know, you really kind of have to master Bounty Bob's jump in order to succeed here. In the sequel, they would alter the jump mechanics in ways that, like, really open up the game. An insane thing to talk about, like that. But the things they did to Bounty Bob's jump in Bounty Bob Strikes Back, truly revolutionary. Let's kill this guy while we're here, but we got to go down and get. I didn't really need to do it this way. Oh well. Not optimal. We still got to go down here and color in this bottom part. Also, one of the few games that puts commas in its score. Not something you see a lot of. This is why I wonder how this is going to work, because this you would use the numbers on the keyboard to go from teleporter to teleporter here. Okay, it looks like I used the extra buttons here on the controller. They've mapped them in such a way to make that work. So top is floor 1. Left is floor 2. I'm guessing right will be 3 and down will be 4. That seems sane. Uh-oh. Nope. We want to go to 3. I think we can fall here. Yes. Did that guy come over far enough for me to... No, not really. Well... go up the long way, and this will be fine. Okay. That was us getting an extra life. This is the level where they go like, I hope you figured out everything you need to know about the way Bounty Bob jumps, because you're going to need to know it now. Oh, I think I can... No. Can I do... Does that stick out far enough for me to fall on it? I can't remember. I don't think so. I think I have to jump over. Let's go this way. Oh, we can't go that way. Oh, I screwed that up. I needed to kill that guy faster. I can go around the other way, I think, and get him here with this. But I also need to get that guy. Okay, I think we'll do it this way. Now we'll do this. Okay, I need to get this birthday cake and then run around there and get this fucking guy. And we're going to run out of time here if we're not careful. Okay, he's on his way back, so let's go. You can always jump over him, like it's not the end of the world, but like... It's getting radiation poisoning. Can we make this final jump? Oh, whew. This cocktail above us looks tasty and delicious. Oh God. It was radioactive and we died. This cocktail does look tasty and alright, we'll skip it. We'll skip it this time. Okay, alright, let's do this. Look at this big money up here. I'm gonna need to come back up here. Should I just do this now? And then jump off to the... Yeah. I gotta time this better. Oh, now what? We'll take the slide again. Nope. Fuck. Alright. That's Miner 2049er. It's awesome. Yeah, the audio on this thing's not right. And this would require a keyboard. I guess I can just hit the button and get out of it. It's an okay version of Missile Command. You want Star Raiders 1, not Star Raiders 2, but you need a joystick for Star Raider, or a keyboard for Star Raiders 2, and so that's why they didn't include it, I'm guessing. Wavy Navy is a great name for, you know, fairly standard Space Invaders-y, Galaxian-y kind of thing. But we're on the waves, see? Oh, God. My boat. I don't know what the helicopter does. Does it shoot? Oh, it does indeed. It does indeed. Ah, man, that's brutal. It's brutal, Wavy Navy. My fleet has been sunk. You know, it's like it's a decent version of Berserk. It's a decent version of Asteroids. We turn on bounce, and then the asteroids bounce off the edges instead of going through the sides. Fast asteroids, slow asteroids. Hyperspace, flip over, no effect, shields. So this is, you know, for as much as this is Asteroids, it's also Asteroids Deluxe in some ways. Which button starts the game? I feel like my other problem with this is that it feels like the controls have been a little different for each game. You can also play this 4 players, which is kind of crazy. I don't want to do that, though. I want to play 1 player. Ow. There. I once played this game so long that I had to pause it overnight because I was doing so well at it that it was bedtime and I had to stop. Yeah, I don't know, the sound stuff, you know, hopefully, you know, and having MULE crash like that is a bummer. But that's the sort of stuff that you just look at and go like, well, hopefully there's a firmware update to improve this because it ain't right. So, you know, the built-in games, it's a decent list of games. But also I have thrown a USB stick in here. And we can try some other stuff out, I guess. These should be cartridges, if I remember correctly. So here's, I imagine it would just be the same. But, oh, here we go. A little BC's Quest for Tires. How about? How do you update the firmware on it? They've got a website, and you throw the firmware on a USB stick, but I don't, last time I checked, there was no firmware update available, so. BC, everyone's favorite comic strip. We all love BC. hop over the logs and crouch under the trees. Oh. And we can control our speed within some, so I can, if I hold down the button and hold to the right, I'll go faster. All right. I believe this character's name here, this woman here, canonically here, this is not, I believe her name is Fat Chick. Oops. All right, I'm timing this poorly. Oh man. Oh, you're right. Jay in the chat says it is Fat Broad. You're right. It is Fat Broad. Silly me. Yeah. Cute chick and fat. Yeah, you're right. That's, yeah. All right. We gotta start over because I couldn't get past that part, which is not that difficult, but. Oops. Joystick? I don't love the joystick. You know, technology has come a long way, and this joystick feels like an okay recreation of the original Atari joystick, which is not what I used to play these games. I had a joystick from the fine folks at Wicco. Yeah. See, if her club is down at all, it's not just the movement of the club that kills you. It's if the club is down at all, you're done. We died, so we don't get to go up the mountain, and we don't get to deal with the 5 more levels of this that are basically not that different. Played a lot of Buck Rogers. This is an arcade port. Was it Buck Rogers and the Planet of Doom? I believe it was called. From your friends at Sega. You heard of Zoom. You're right, Planet of Zoom. No enemies to shoot in this first level. Yeah. Oops. Oh my gosh. So when you're playing your own games, when you're throwing your own ROMs onto a USB stick, as we're doing here, they let you do some configuration around the controls and what you're emulating, and whether it's a 400 or an 800, and that sort of stuff. Was there a console version of Robotron? There are a lot of console versions of Robotron, but not... I don't know if there's one for this or not. Let's check. If it came out on cartridge, it should be in this directory. Or at least the other directory. Wait. Back. There we go. Yes, there is a version of Robotron. not an amazing, you know, like not a game you want to play with one joystick. But there are certainly worse versions of this game. I don't know. Good God. Oh. That like Robotron X. You know, Robotron X is okay. Robotron X is okay. I don't know. Like it's the sort of game that like if it ran better and all that, that would probably go a long way. Hard to position myself in some of these corners here. Die. My hand is starting to hurt from using this joystick. Oh, that was not a human. This is a totally playable version of this game, but like I don't know. It's kind of the hard thing with a lot of this stuff, unless you have specific nostalgia for a specific version of the game. At the end of the day, there are so many ways to play proper Robotron. Oh, and I would have figured that this would have had dual joystick support, that it would have allowed you to, but I don't. And I can change the difficulty level. But I would have figured that if you had a joystick plugged into port 2, that it would let you shoot. Maybe it does, and it just doesn't advertise that. That seems like that'd be an easy thing to do, but I don't know. I played a lot of this version of Spy Hunter as well. There's a weird bug in this where you can just do this. And live forever. Now, I'm not earning any points, but also the timer isn't going down. So there's zero benefit to do this. Unless you're a child. And then you're like, beat the game, look at this. But you can use it, I guess, to, you know, take your way to the smoke screen. Yeah, okay. I guess there's some usefulness to this after all. You can do this and go get smoke screen and oil slick and missiles and stuff, and then there's oil slick. This, and then we should have missiles. Oh no, it's just a smoke screen again, but okay. Helicopter coming. I wonder if a helicopter would kill you over here. Probably. Anyway, there's not a lot of good reasons to play the game that way. So this would be a great case for... Oh, well. Okay, we want to push that. And then is that going to change it? Is that going to change it? Oh, a keyboard. I was like, does it have paddles aboard? That would be weird. So the problem here is that to activate your rear-firing weapons, I believe you need the space bar. And so to properly play this, we would have to, I guess, do some controller remapping here. Is that the menu button? Okay, so let's do... Wait, no. Wrong button. I wish the buttons on this were better labeled and more dedicated buttons. So these computers had 3 buttons on the side that you needed to work with. There was a start button, a select button, and an options button. And so you would need to sometimes use select and sometimes use options depending on what you were doing. Okay, menu for game settings. I believe that. There we go. So we can... Okay, there we go. So we can kind of go in here and... I can hit the F button to edit. Oh, that's fire. Okay. Like, what the fuck is an F? Okay, we don't want to change that. We want to change... this. Okay, if we push down, we can get keyboard. And so we can map that to the space bar. That's relatively easy. Hopefully it saves it. Hopefully that then saves in a text file alongside the game. And so you don't have to do that every time. But, if not, I guess you could go put your own text files there. Did I fuck this up? Did I fuck up the mapping? I believe I did. Game settings. Oh, yes, I did. I mapped everything to joystick up. Okay. We want joystick up to be joystick up. We want down to be joystick down. Oh, this shouldn't be this way. No, I can't clear it. It has to be start. And like I need to map those to start. Oh, that would be on the keyboard, I guess, huh? Skip. Skip. Edit. And I have to do this. Okay, no, we can just hit skip. Okay. Okay, so we can go keyboard, and then we can say this is start, and this is select, and this is option, and then we don't need to map anything for the downward thing. And this stuff is here because you can play your own games on it, right? Like when you're playing their games, they can provide a mapping that is appropriate for the game, right? So, but in this case, it's nice to be able to, you know, you need to be able to do this. It was a lot more complicated with their the company that made this. And now we fucked up the vertical mapping or whatever, because like now we can't see the time anymore. It's annoying. With the Commodore 64, it was even crazier because some Commodore 64 games you had to plug your joystick into port 2 or port 1, depending on the game. You're like, I don't know, why is it like that? There's some technical reason why it's like that. I don't know why it's like that. It's crazy. But it seemed like more games used port 2 than port 1, which is silly. That's just how it was. Okay, let's see if we've mapped this spacebar properly to be able to use the oil slick. Am I wrong? Is it not the spacebar? Did I unmap it by mistake? All right, that's enough of that. Well, now I need to look and see if I fucked it up because I no, that's set properly. It must just not be the spacebar. I wonder what it is. I have to go find the instructions, I guess. I'm a big K-Razy shootout fan. As far as games that are like Berserk go. Got a little unreleased gem here, a little unreleased video game called Mr. Dew's Castle. I think for an unreleased prototype, unfinished video game, it's fantastic. It's a great game, great music. What more do you want? Oops. Yay. So yeah, it's a little rough around the edges. Would have needed some work here before they released it, but like this is seems like a mostly finished version of the game. It has most of the audio and all of that, so not bad, not bad. Mountain King, which is just, it's just great music. It's a pretty cool game too, but it's a weird game. He's dancing, he's dancing. If I remember correctly, we need to get all this dust. And then we'll be able to find a bird. There's a fire up there. We've almost got enough dust. So the music will get quieter and or louder depending on how close you are to the thing. There it is. Okay, we've collected it, and now we've got this weird fuzzy shield thing, and I don't remember what you do after that. I don't remember what you need to do here. Oh. Maybe we need to get more dust. It did restart the dust meter. You don't want to stay on these bottom rows too long because there's a spider or something that comes through. Oh, yeah, okay. So we... What is it? We get enough dust. Oh, no, maybe we don't need the dust anymore at all. Maybe we've got everything we need because it just reset again after I... Maybe we go down here. Oh, shit. Maybe the shield makes me invincible to the fire? Nope. I have burned alive. And we're dead. But you need to do something to get in there and get the crown and then get out, is basically the point of the game there. I want to see if these work. So I don't remember where I got these, but in addition to, so the other thing this thing does that is annoying is it will only show you, I believe, 256 files per directory, and there are a lot more than that. And so you have to do a bunch of manual file, like, oh, I need to break these up into a zillion different directories and so on and so forth. And it's very annoying. It's very annoying. And so I did not complete that task, but, oh, it doesn't even show the directory. I made other directories in this directory for letters A and B that it's not showing because it's taking the files have priority. Ugh. But I have these as well. And these are weird, specially formatted fake floppy disks that have way more games than you should be able to fit on a normal floppy disk. And they work in most emulators, and I'm curious if it will work here. Let's do the one that has games in the K range. Oh, it still has the Mountain King cartridge inserted. Clear. There we go. Start game. Okay. This seems like it works. Some of this is going to want a joystick. But okay, that works great. Okay, so we can play Crazy Shootout. So those discs that have like it's a really probably not fully complete, but it has basically any game I've been looking for on this platform has been on one of those 4 floppy disks, or fake floppy disks, I guess I should say. And so those have been very convenient for use with the Mister and stuff like that, because it's a lot easier to just call up a menu and go through it than it is to... There's one sound effect in this game that I love. It's a great sound effect. I thought about putting it on the soundboard, but it's too annoying. It's this one. That sounds pretty good. That sounds accurate. As Berserk clones go, I think this is a pretty good one. Okay. So that works pretty well. But we can always restart it and just go pick different. It'd be nice, you know, if you had a keyboard setup. You know, there's also, you know, ways to use this stuff that are a little bit easier. You can. Maybe I need to map that for it to work. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So you can kind of call out an on-screen keyboard here if you ever needed it, just for something quick. And that's I don't know. That's relatively handy. You play this 2007 version of Mario Brothers. Oh, press any key to continue. How about that one? Okay, that crashed. So you see here, yeah, there's Boulder Dash construction kit, and then you have Boulder Dash 7, Boulder Dash 8. These aren't real games. Wait, what? So, you know, you can get all these weird levels for user-made levels for Boulder Dash. So they put out that construction kit, so I think people just hacked that construction kit and basically hacked those levels into a booting real version of the game. And were able to use that to basically distribute their levels, which is kind of neat. Oh, travesty. Let's see if the cartridge version of it works. Because if Bounty Bob Strikes Back doesn't work, and there's something weird about the, I don't know if it's a memory mapper or what the deal is, but there's something about the Bounty Bob cartridge that is different than some other cartridges. There we go. This is the sequel to Miner 2049er. It's awesome. Look at the depth on those platforms now. So now his jump, it's normal if you're just holding the direction, but also if you jump straight up, you can tap a direction at any point in the jump to get different distances of jump. It changes everything. Changes the game, son. Well, we fucked that up. Okay, let's do it the right way here. So here, for example, you can just go pop, 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 and make those jumps. And so with that additional range of jump and some of that stuff, like these levels in the sequel get a little more diabolical as a result. It's a great game. We would need the space bar for this. Oh, but my mapping from before stuck. So we have a space bar mapped. That's handy. When you jump up, yeah, well, fuck that up. What's one more game? You know, I don't want to spend too much more time on this. It's fine. This device is very similar to the other devices this company has made. The C64 that they put out, the Amiga they put out. Like the emulation doesn't seem perfect, and the front end can be a little bit clunky. But I love the form factor. Like the device itself is so. I just. The idea of having a tiny Atari 400 that I can just put on a shelf and look at from time to time is honestly probably more valuable to me than another device that kind of emulates the platform. You know, since I already own a Mister and some of these other things, it's hopefully they update it and you know and do more to it. That's my thought on that. But also, let's go back. Let's go into this directory, and that's okay. So that's not a. There's Pitfall 2, which again, there's a video of me playing Pitfall 2 on YouTube. If you want to see that, Pitfall 2 is an amazing video game, especially on this platform where it had a second quest that wasn't in other versions of the game. So that this version of Pitfall 2 is the definitive version of the game as far as I'm concerned. But the game I wanted to see, I guess we'll have to launch it this way and hope it works through these weird fake discs here. It would be in the O's. It's a little game called Ollie's Follies. Ollie's Follies not that different, you know, similar in some ways to a Miner 2049er. In that when we are wearing a hairnet here, we can kill the robots, naturally. We don't have to touch the floors and color it in or anything like that. We just kind of have to get to the exit. Did I screw this up? Yeah, I should have gone across and gotten the key. Now I'll have to go down there and... Well, no, we'll go around this way. I've streamed this game before, so if you've... Oh, we fell to our death. The thing you have to watch out for in this game is every time you jump, he takes a step after he lands, and sometimes you will walk yourself off a platform, and that is a bummer. Yeah, I would probably, you know, this joystick is fine. I don't have any, you know, like a specific nostalgia for this exact joystick because I was often using third-party joysticks. But they've done a nice job of adding buttons to it to at least let it do the things you would need this joystick to do in order to use it. So, there we go. Anyway, Ollie's Follies, hell of a game. That's one of those games I feel like no one ever talks about. And it's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I owned that game and played enough of it to realize how good it is. And it's, you know, a lot of people are not going to do that. The first floppy disk game I can ever remember owning is a little game called Pooyan. Konami arcade game, ported by your friends at Datasoft. Your boy Scott Spanberg here. A little Pooyan for you. I can move up and down and I can shoot arrows. We can shoot big meat and kill all those... Oh, we missed one. We missed one with our meat missile, and now there's a wolf on the ladder. You don't want that. You don't want a wolf on the ladder. If you know anything about anything, you know you don't want a fucking wolf on the fucking ladder. Like that, see? If that wolf wasn't on the ladder, I'd still be alive. Mommy, the mother pig would still be looking to save her little pigs. Pooyan. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Hell of a game, Pooyan. It's a Pooyan homage inside of Rogue Legacy 2. That is genius. Yeah, and this was my first home computer. This was my first real gaming platform. I had a Fairchild Channel F before this, but there just were not a lot of games out for that thing. It was a very basic device, and so this was the first machine I ever owned, and it's awesome. You can also, well, you know, I don't have a keyboard plugged in, so we're not going to get much out of this, but you can also just launch BASIC if you want, and type in programs and save them to floppy disks and stuff if you want to do that. If that's your thing. It's not showing up. I put 5200 games on here also, but the directory is not showing up for some reason. That's very weird. I wonder if it's because it starts with a number and there's some, yeah, like this file selector thing. I don't love it. It's fine. It has a lot of the same restrictions that a lot of these things have, of just like, don't put too many files in one directory. I'm like, dog, I've got almost 6,000 floppy disks for this thing on this computer. I just want to copy them over and not have to think about it. You know? But alas. It's a cool little device. I hope that they update the firmware and you know, make some changes to the audio, and obviously having MULE crash like that is less than ideal, let's say. But yeah, I don't know. Neat device.